Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me today Carrie Davis with Wealth Watchers Incorporated. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you.
So, Carrie, how do someone get involved with Wealth Watchers? I mean, it has to be a story behind here. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So the story behind myself is, yes. So over almost 30 years ago, I started out as a community organizer.
Okay.
And so I often tell people, I had this great idea that I can change the world and still do. So don't tell me otherwise. And so from a community organizer, it led me on a journey of working for another nonprofit organization that was focused on community building. And then about 16 years ago, I became the president and CEO of Wealth Watchers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's still kind of a jump. And so Wealth Watchers, how is that connected to your journey on your journey?
Wow. So my journey is purpose-driven.
Okay.
And so what's really important for me is building communities and increasing the knowledge and capacities of individuals and families in those communities. Okay. And so it's all one seamless journey because we want to make the world a better place and we want to be the change that we see in others.
Right.
So my role as the leader and president and CEO of Wealth Watchers allows me the opportunity to work with an amazing team that I'm privileged enough to call their coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you help them as far as just financially or overall for everything?
So overall.
Okay.
So really our mission is focused on building viable communities.
Okay.
And also providing financial strategies to expand education and knowledge of individual and families for the purpose of building wealth for future generations, which is also our tagline.
Right. And obviously, a lot of that community building is financially based.
It's financially based.
Right.
And another focus for us is home ownership. Mm-hmm. Because for many individuals, the vehicle to building generational wealth is through home ownership. Mm-hmm. And so we really focus on providing education, counseling. We also build houses for home ownership opportunities and also for quality rental. Quality housing is important whether you're a renter or you're a homeowner. So one of the things we try to do is focus on doing our part to increase the inventory of quality housing so that renters can, have affordable housing based on their income. We often say that housing is affordable when you're not expending more than 30% of your gross income on housing. Right. And the other part of that is helping potential home buyers realize their dream of home ownership.
Right. And so part of it, I know I've been very blessed in that area, but I do know people that said they have to get ready for home ownership.
Yes.
They have to, it's almost like, you're going to college or something. You kind of just have to get ready, especially if you're footing the bill.
Yes.
Because if it's too messed up, people don't want to lend you money.
Right. Well, and two, when we think about it, home ownership is probably one of the most significant purchases that an individual will make. But it starts before that. So before the education piece, part of that education piece is about the financial literacy, right? What are our debts? Right. What are our income, our credit score? Right. Those
what's
are the
a viable
things,
budget?
And what's a viable budget?
Yes.
So these are the things that we have to instill and provide to individuals before they even get to the point of questioning whether or not they want to be a homeowner.
Right. And then even after you make that decision, understanding that home ownership is not just the monthly mortgage.
It's not.
Because, that can be lower than what you're paying in rent. But by the time you add everything else that you have to keep on there.
Taxes, landscaping, maintenance. When you're a renter, right? If
somebody else usually calls somebody else.
Goes down, if something breaks, you call the landlord, they send someone over. Where when you purchase your home, you are the landlord.
Oh, believe me, I was young when I purchased my first home, and I remember the first time something went wrong, and I was like, well, who can I call? And so thankfully, my dad was still alive. So I called my dad, and he said, okay, what you going to do about it? He eventually came over, but it's like...
Well, and that's one of the things we share with individuals when they're looking at exploring home ownership is to really think about, you know, this is a place you're going to live for a long time. You know, think about the neighborhood, think about the amenities you want. So that's all part of the education component of it. What we share with individuals is that you have a home buyers team. So it's not just your housing counselor, which Wealth Watchers is a HUD certified housing counseling agency. But along with us, you have your realtor, you have your lender.
So you all work together.
You know, everyone works together to help that individual achieve their dream of home ownership. So, you know, hopefully by the time they get to the table, they understand, they're ready, and they understand exactly what they're doing.
Wow, that is great. And so do you provide, I mean, obviously you provide education, so there's classes and sessions or webinars or whatever that you provide. Do you provide information on the website too?
Absolutely. So if anyone wants more information about not only just our home ownership process,
but just the whole financial
anything about financial literacy, they can always go to our website, and that's wealthwatchersfl.org. And again, I always like to say it twice, wealthwatchersfl.org. And on there, they will see a lot of information from every line of business that Wealth Watchers is involved in, from community building and engagement, which we talked about earlier, through home ownership. And they will also have an opportunity to see some of our rental properties, and as well as some of the homes that we built.
Oh, wow. That is great.
Yes.
I just applaud all that you're doing, because I know that affordable housing here right now is a little hard to find.
It's not affordable, right?
Right. So thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And to learn more about Carrie Davis and Wealth Watchers Incorporated, please go to wealthwatchersfl.org, and we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.